back with more Buffy. This is episode 2 of season 6 and the second part of the opening story for this season. Very, very excited to jump back into this season, see what's going to happen next with this episode. It's going to be fun and interesting and probably dark and crazy because Buffy's alive, hooray, but trapped in a coffin, not hooray. I don't know if she's going to be like stuck there because they didn't think the spell worked and we have like a biker gang of demons and what on earth is going on. I'm very, very intrigued as to where we're going to go next with this whole story and more probably set up for the rest of the season too. Yeah, really, really excited because I really enjoyed the premiere. And yeah, Buffy's back. What happens next? I don't know. Very excited. So let's get into the next one.
Let's split up.
And search for clues. Oh god. Oh, I feel bad for the Buffy bot. I feel worse for actual Buffy. I remember nightmares. I know Sarah Michelle Gellar has this fear. Oh, that is terrifying.
She's really gone.
God, why am I nearly crying again? I know she's alive. Buried alive.
Hide under the bed linen's not really my style.
But we need to wait for the others and Buffy. Bot.
Oh,
you know the
God.
Buffy bot.
I'm not gonna let any of those buggers lay so much as a warty digit on you.
Oh. Bring her back to life and straight away. Trauma. Jesus. Oh. Her hair reminds me of Beerbad. So we've seen what Sunnydale would be like if Buffy never went.
Thank God.
And now we've seen what it would be like
No,
after she's gone.
The story hasn't been mooted.
And they're both shit.
That's really hurt. What if they're dead already? They're not. How do you know? Because he's with Willow. And if something happened, I'd know.
Oh.
And so would you. You think? Sure.
Oh, I like we're getting more of those two together.
Willow and I always know how to find each other. With yoga? Shh.
Tara has a lot more confidence this season. I like that.
That spell took a lot out of me.
As for example, snakes? How come you didn't tell us how much?
Oh no.
Because they wouldn't let her do it otherwise.
What were we into back then?
Oh.
Over there, that light.
Tara?
That one moving towards us? Incredibly fast?
Hello?
Hello? We're being hunted and you're helloing as strange as being light in the dark?
That's cool. I like that.
And how long have you known that your girl can snicker about?
Yeah.
You hear me? I said get off my property.
Calm down, Mr. Heckles. Go to a house I've already been to.
Oh, nothing. Just, looked like fun.
Is someone going to run into the real Buffy and just think it's the Buffy bot?
Let's fly, pigeon!
Ah, I love it. Making sure she has the helmet on. Whee!
Already been looted. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, we need
Buffy.
Buffy. He's not coming back.
Yes, she is.
We failed.
No, you didn't. Because you're a cinnamon roll.
Gentlemen,
What are you doing?
start your engine.
Aww. They're pulling the Buffy bot apart.
Hey, Slayer.
Oh, she could see them. Oh, shit. Oh, God. No. Dude.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I think it would please them to know we're engaged. And I think Willow in particular could use a real morale booster right now.
Can we talk about this later?
Well, but it's just
She's concerned for Willow.
Telling everyone we're engaged. No more surprises.
Actually, oh shit! They're just gonna think it's Buffy Bot though.
It's the Buffy bot.
No, it's not.
Ah, Peachy. No doubt to lead the Wild Bunch right to us again. Hey, Will, next time this thing's damaged, couldn't you program it to find the nearest Radio Shack? Or...
She knows it's the real one.
Buffy!
Buffy!
Buffy! Her hands are bleeding. Her fingers.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Just to dig herself out of the...
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
In her coffin.
She had to
Oh.
dig out of her own grave.
We're sorry. We didn't know. Buffy!
You weren't reaching her. She's too traumatized.
Can't fucking blame her. Jeez.
Here's some good news that might perk you right up.
Oh, God.
Sandra and I have an announcement.
Anya, you're home.
Yeah. Welcome home, Slayer.
Ah.
Alive and kicking after all.
These bastards.
And Sandra.
Oh. He.
They came looking for a massacre. And I think...
It's kind of like she's going through Spiral again, but
between you,
different kind of trauma.
birthday. Well, I better back off or you might what? Pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Don't do that. Why would you do that?
Look, we don't want trouble.
Kill him!
Might even live through it. Except that certain
Buffy?
of my boys got some...
Seeing her friends suffer?
Compatibilities.
Ooh, shit. Yes! Kick some ass. Yes! Oh, just like they were doing to the Buffy bot. And we have a spare grave to put those fuckers in. Oh, they're gonna find the Buffy bot. That's disturbing.
Machine gun.
That's all she had left of her sister, though. I can echo. Oh.
Dawn, the other Buffy.
Oh.
I don't know where she ran off to. Maybe.
Oh, I feel bad for the Buffy bot.
Hey.
Oh, gosh.
Dawn!
Could have at least told him that you think she's alive. That'll do it.
She's Buffy. She's herself again. You're back, Buffy, you really are.
I wouldn't say that entirely. There's that summer's blood again.
Buffy!
The important thing is that she's back. She'll be fine.
Oh no. Well. Oh! Cordelia, is that you? He. Spider-Man, motherfucker. Is it going to be a similar thing to like when she had to destroy the Master's bones to move on from dying the first time? Maybe she destroys that.
So rich.
Try it, bitch.
Power after all. Well, let's see what tricks you can manage while I choke the life out of you.
Oh! Well done, Tara.
Nobody messes with my girl.
Yes!
Tara, nice accent.
Here we are again. Looks a bit windy, be careful. They're playing the same music.
Is it you? I mean, really?
Mostly.
What do you...
Oh, no.
He went away. And you don't want to do that again.
I think it'd be easier
I don't
for
know
her
how
if she
you're
did.
back. Say something.
Has she spoken yet this episode? Like,
This hell.
oh, shit.
But it's been so hard without you. I'm sorry. Stay with me. Please. I need you to live. Live.
Oh, fuck. Oh, she was gonna say the same thing.
Dawn.
She needs to live for herself as well as other people. Oh. Well, thank God for that. That's improved the skyline. But the people living near there were furious when they built that.
You're alive. And you're home. You're home.
I don't think she's best pleased about it, which is concerning. Okay, another really, really great episode. I love that kind of concluding part to this opening story, but man, the emotions. Very excited to see where they take things now. I feel like, just like with season 5, I think Buffy's arc this season is going to be very, very interesting. Because it's funny how much screen time Buffy got in this episode, but how little it felt like we saw Buffy in a twisted way, because she's still kind of, yes, you know, she's traumatized from, not only from dying, but having to dig herself out of her own grave, which is just, I can't even bear the thought of that happening, like waking up in your own coffin and having to dig yourself out, like, ugh, no. And yeah, just like getting used to being alive again, you know, all her senses were kind of out of whack. You know, I don't think it's just a soul is restored to its body and then, oh yeah, all hunky-dory. I'm kind of glad it's not kind of going to be that easy, because, you know, that body, it was still like decaying and stuff, even though that's kind of been undone a bit by the soul returning to it and everything. That body still felt a lot of damage, so it makes sense that Buffy is still going to be very, very damaged from dying, even if she is alive again now. Just like we saw her struggle in when she was bad after, you know, dying, and how she kind of only found some kind of catharsis in that and closure when she destroyed the Master's bones. And I thought it might be like a similar sort of thing with that tower being destroyed, that Gloria and her minions built and everything. I thought that might give her like a similar sense of closure, but she still doesn't seem that good. Like that final scene with Dawn, which I loved. I love that whole final sequence with those two on the tower. I thought that was really cool. Nice little callbacks to how they were like repeating some of the lines, and this time it was kind of trying to make Buffy walk back to Dawn instead of, you know, running away from her and jumping off. But obviously they didn't find that sense of closure because she didn't look too impressed in that final shot there. Because obviously she's got a lot to deal with still, I think. She has to get used to being alive again now, and that might take a lot of time, and I think that could be a really, really interesting story, and I can't wait to see them kind of explore that a bit more. And I guess when she destroyed the Master's bones, that kind of allowed her to move on from that whole, like, not even near-death experience, the death experience. But I guess her death in the gift was more of her own choice, and she made peace with it. So I guess making peace with your death and then being brought back, that would probably fuck you up. You're like, well, you know, I've closed off my story, I've accepted that, and then suddenly, you know, you get paid to write a sequel, and you're like, but I've told the story I want to tell. I imagine that's a very weird place to be in. And seeing Buffy potentially negotiate that kind of thing could be interesting. I feel like that's where they're going with it. You know, how I think it's going to be this case of how do I live in this world when I've made my peace with leaving it already. I think that could be an interesting story if that's where they're going to explore it, or it's just the fact that, you know, Buffy's head's just not in the right place because she's just been brought back to life, which still would make sense as well. So looking forward to seeing how Buffy's going to kind of adapt and change and grow this season in reaction to her death, like just like she did at the start of season 2, in a very different way. You know, what she said to Dawn in The Gift, the hardest thing in this world is to live in it. Now she has to live in it all over again when she thought, you know, that part of existence was over, I guess. So that could be very, very interesting to see where they go with all that. And yeah, the demons I think were like fairly standard cop, I guess, for like a villain, but it really wasn't about them, so I don't really mind that they were just kind of there to cause a bit of a havoc and be something for Buffy and her friends to kind of beat up at the end. But I really like the design of them. Like those particular like, demons, I thought they were really well designed. I liked the look of them and how they all had like this individual kind of sense of style to them as well. So that was all really, really interesting. I liked that a lot. And yeah, not like the best villains or demons we've ever seen on the show by any means, but I thought the concept of them was pretty cool. But they were very much just there to kind of get beaten up, which is fine. You know, I'm not gonna hold that against the episode. So I did like the design of them a lot, and I think I liked the role they played in things. And also the Buffy bot. Oh, I feel bad. I can't believe I'm sad to see the Buffy bot be destroyed. I never would have thought that like 5 or 6 episodes ago, but here we are. But yeah, I like how they kind of treated the death of the Buffy bot, and the fact that early in the episode, you know, Dawn had just called it Buffy and then had to correct herself and add a bot onto the end, because it's kind of like, I think she was treating it as like a sister, like that scene in the premiere where she kind of, you know, went to sleep next to it as it was like charging or whatever. It's a way of pretending that Buffy's still there and her sister's still there, and it's kind of, I think for a moment it was like losing that all over again. So that was really, really sad how they treated that and how she just like shut off mid-sentence and stuff. But you know, she did serve a purpose and Buffy is back. And I think you could only probably take like the Buffy bot thing and jokes around the Buffy bot so far. So it makes sense that it's not going to be like a permanent thing, especially if Buffy's back, they don't need it. But I felt bad for the robot thing that Spike built to do things too. Well, Spike had built, I should say. So yeah, that was kind of sad, but I did like the kind of role they used the Buffy bot with in this kind of opening part, like 2-part thing. It makes sense that they'd use it to like cover for Buffy and stuff like that, and it's an interesting comparison to kind of how the Buffy bot seemed a lot more emotive and emotional than Buffy was when she came back, and I think that's very, very telling of the state of mind that Buffy's currently in. And I like that a lot, that kind of comparison between the two, because I think it's going to take a long journey, I think, for Buffy to kind of move past this now. So everything they did with the Buffy bot I thought was interesting as well. And yeah, just bringing like Glory's tower back into things and having that be destroyed was really nice, just kind of saying, you know, that era is over now. And yeah, I don't know where they're going to take this whole thing with Buffy, but I'm very excited to see how Spike reacts to her coming back. Giles, it was weird not having Giles around. Yeah, and how everyone's kind of moved forward from this now, and how are they going to like help Buffy out, or should they even help Buffy out? You know, is that just going to make things worse if they like pile on the pressure and like spend a lot of time with her or anything like that? Maybe she just needs a bit of space. So seeing everyone kind of negotiate Buffy hopefully trying to find a normal life again after death, I think could be very, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone kind of reacts to that and deals with it. So we saw instances of it in this episode with like Andy saying, "Oh Buffy, I've got some good news that would cheer you up," whereas Willow seemed very desperate to kind of just keep talking to Buffy and interact with her. I love that Willow was the one who realised it was the real Buffy. That was such a good moment. You know, people just confused it with the Buffy bot. That was really great, and that Buffy didn't say anything after she came back for like most of the episode until that final scene with her and Dawn, which was just so good. Oh, the acting in this episode was just so fantastic. So yeah, I liked all of that. I also liked how they paired like some characters off. I love the dynamic with Spike and Dawn. I like that we're getting a lot more of that. Spike's kind of protectiveness of Dawn is very, very wholesome, and I'm so excited for him to find out Buffy's alive. I really don't know how he's going to react to that. I think he's kind of unpredictable in that sense. You know, he's always been very unpredictable in his treatment of Buffy, ever since he kind of realised he had feelings for her. Because sometimes he can just be so sweet, like at the end of Fall for Love, and then other times he's just completely misses the mark on how to kind of woo her or whatever. So I'm very intrigued by his reaction in particular to Buffy's death. Giles and Buffy reuniting, I think, will make me sob fucking buckets. So I'm looking forward to, and also not looking forward to, that reunion, which I'm sure will happen. And yeah, I did enjoy Spike and Dawn trying to like avoid all the demons and everything like that, and when they got the motorcycle, and that was pretty badass, Spike on the motorcycle. I just really like the relationship that those two have kind of formed, and just how protective Spike is of her. I think that's very, very wholesome. Would have been nice if she'd actually let him know when she ran off, but never mind, what can you do? I guess caught in the moment, if you think your sister's alive, you're just gonna leg it over to her, aren't you? I did like that Dawn seemed to kind of know where to go. She kind of just felt it. Kind of, I guess, relating to what Tara was saying to Anya when they got to the magic box. And they said, you know, if anything had happened to Xander and Willow, we'd know. You just feel it. I guess it's kind of, maybe Dawn almost felt it in that sense, but she felt like the opposite. She's like, oh, Buffy's back, I can feel it. That's kind of what guided her a bit. I know she like saw like dead demons and stuff that guided her along the way, but that kind of be a nice little thing to think of as well. And yeah, like those pairings of like Anya and Tara, we got a bit of that last season, and I really, really enjoyed that pairing, so I'm glad we got quite a big focus on that here. Tara had a lot of badass moments. I really like how mature and confident she seems this season. A lot of that probably does come from, like, you know, things with her and Willow going really well. The fact that she's kind of living independently in the Summers house with Willow and Dawn as well. She's kind of had to take on like a caregiver kind of role. I imagine that's really helped her confidence and everything. So I've really liked her in these opening couple of episodes, and she's done some badass spells, and when she cast that light to guide Willow and Xander back to her, that was great. When she killed Razor, awesome. So she had a lot of great moments in this episode as well. And I did like Anya trying to cheer Buffy up by trying to announce the engagement. That was very Anya, because, you know, she still doesn't quite understand how to handle every situation. But yeah, Anya's concern for Xander was also very wholesome, and her concern for Willow at times as well. She's like, oh, shall we tell Willow that we're engaged, because it might cheer her up. I really enjoyed that, and just the sense of desperation as well that Willow was kind of feeling, thinking the spell had failed and that she'd let Buffy down. That was really, really sad. And I was really affecting, you know, those scenes, even though at that time we knew that Buffy was actually back. It was still really sad to just see everyone torn up, thinking that she's gone forever, and that hope was gone. But then we get that scene where she appears and Willow just knows it's her. That was so good, such a nice little kind of detail that someone picked up on, it being the real one. And I also liked all the Willow and Xander stuff we got. I feel like we don't often get like just those two together as much anymore, which is fair because they both have their own relationships and everything like that. So that kind of happens, but it was really nice just having a lot of just Xander and Willow scenes and just having those best friends kind of interact again. So I enjoyed the pairings of the characters in this episode very, very much. Hopefully they'll continue to kind of experiment with those kind of things. Because it doesn't always have to just be like the couples, you know, going off together and having scenes. And yeah, I think we definitely need those scenes, but I do like it when they switch up like the pairings of characters. And I think that worked really, really well in this episode too. Because if you have characters paired off with other characters that they're not in relationships with, you can do kind of different scenes and different things with them. And, you know, if it's just like two friends having a conversation or opening up about each other, to each other, you know, you can learn a lot more about them and learn different things about them than you would have to if they're like in a romantic scene with their partner or something. So I always enjoy when they do that. And just the bonds that everyone's kind of forming in like the Scooby Gang, I think is just so, so good. I always like it when they explore that. And things I think are going to be shaken up with the fact that Giles isn't around and Buffy's back. And Spike's kind of part of the group as well, I guess, now, which is nice. So yeah, really, really enjoyed all those kind of different pairings as well, and just seeing them momentarily kind of deal with the fact that Buffy may be gone for good, but then presented with her back. And I love how delicate they were all trying to be with her. And we'll see where that all goes with the rest of this season. I really don't know what to expect in terms of like a big arc or like a big bad or anything for this season. It makes sense that they didn't really introduce anything like that in like this opening couple of episodes, because you know they had to deal with Buffy coming back from the dead before they even had, you know, they could even hint at, I guess, a larger arc or scheme for the season. And I think they handled it really, really well. You know, I think it could have been, it easily could have felt like a cop-out, I guess, if they just cast this spell and then Buffy's back and we're all good. But, you know, they hinted that there's some really dark stuff going on with that spell. The fact that, you know, everything that happened to Willow doing that spell as well. I love that Xander kind of confronted her about that and said, why didn't you tell me it was going to be that bad? But when's Willow ever been honest about spells and what magic can do? Or her use of it even, like when she ran off to like kick Glory's ass after Tara got all brain mushed. So I like that he kind of called her out on that as well. There's just such a sense of maturity, I think, to all of them now, especially in like season 5 onwards. I think you've really got to feel it for most characters, like especially Xander as well. You can see how much he's matured from the earlier seasons, and I like that. I like seeing these characters grow up. You know, they're not in school anymore, and I just enjoy them kind of dealing with these very adult issues. I look forward to seeing them negotiate another one in how do they help their friend live again and learn to live again. Because I think there would be a way to learn to live again, but it might take something. I did like that Dawn was like, you know, live for me, you know, stay with me, and that was very emotional. I think it would have been so much easier for Buffy herself if she just jumped and just went back to being at peace, I guess. But I think, you know, when Dawn was put in danger, she like, immediately went to save her. You know, she saved like Xander and everyone, you know, being attacked. So it's all very well and good, you know, living for your friends and living to protect them. But hopefully, I think this season's going to be about her finding a reason to live for herself, because she'd made peace with her death. I think she needs to find a way of making peace with being alive again now. I think that could be what her journey is this season. I think that could be really, really interesting. And just seeing how everyone's going to kind of cope with her being back. Very, very excited for that. And yeah, just a fantastic episode. Really enjoyed this kind of opening couple. And yeah, season 6 off to a very, very good start. I can't wait to see where we go next. Should be very, very exciting. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this episode. I'm so excited to see what Buffy's arc is going to be in this season in particular. But it's just nice having these characters back for another whole season. And yeah, season 6 off to a very, very strong start. Obviously that is the end of another cycle for Buffyverse. So the next reaction in the next cycle, I believe it is the next episode of Buffy. I think it's episode 3 of Buffy. Then I think it's episode 4 of Angel. And then episode 4 of Buffy. I think that's what it is. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure. So yeah, very, very excited for that. And until next reaction, thanks for watching.